All right, transitioning over to the college side of it, there's been a big rumor out there that Jim Harbaugh, the Michigan head coach, is looking for an exit strategy out of Michigan and most likely to the NFL. And this is coming off of Michigan losing their second game of the year to Penn State. There's a lot of negativity is maybe not the best word. There's a lot of failed expectations around Jim Harbaugh and his tenure with Michigan, and the hot seat. A lot of people are saying is starting to heat up. The national appeal of Michigan and Jim Harbaugh is starting to fade away, and there's talk that Harbaugh's a guy that he's a Michigan alum. He's had a lot of success there. He had a lot of success prior to coming to Michigan, and so there was a lot of hype around the Wolverines and how he was going to elevate them to the next level, and they haven't done so. And a lot of people feel that the Wolverines are sliding further back into the instead of being one of the elite programs, they're kind of in that middle of the pack. And so with all that pressure ramping up and the hot animosity against this programs, there's this theory that he's looking for an exit strategy to the NFL. And not too long ago, Jim Harbaugh was with 49ers, took him to the Super Bowl, goes to Michigan, and he's always kind of been that college head coach that everyone assumed could go back to the NFL. And the Indianapolis Colts have shown a lot of interest in him in the past because he had played there, had the success. So that's kind of the rumor out there with a few of the NFL coaching jobs opening. You would think the Washington Redskins would jump all over Jim Harbaugh. Atlanta's probably going to open up. I don't think that's the direction they would go. Who knows, though? So there's definitely going to be some openings, and he has that success, and he has the notoriety that would probably get some team to go for him. I don't think it's going to happen. Harbaugh has vehemently said that he's not looking. He wants to be at Michigan. He's even sent out letters to all the recruits, all the players on the teams, the parents, that he's not leaving. I don't think he is. Harbaugh's kind of bounced around, and that's why a lot of people thought this was a possibility, because if you look at his track record, he's not really stayed at a lot of places very long. His first job was in San Diego, the University of San Diego. He was there for 3 years, got that job. 2-11-1 seasons. Boom, he got the Stanford job. He was at Stanford for 4 years, had a lot, hit the 12-1 year, got the 49ers job. Was there 4 years, a 13-win season, 11-win season, 12-win season, and then he went 8-8. Kind of was getting pushed out the door, and he went to Michigan. Now he's been at Michigan. This is his 5th season, so this is the longest he's been a head coach at a single spot. Now he's only had 4 jobs. And San Diego's hard to count because it's a FCS school. Stanford, he moved on to the NFL. In the NFL, he moves back to the school that he graduated from. That's his alma mater. So it's not hard to see him wanting to pass up the 49ers job and it's Michigan football. It's not like it's Portland State or Rutgers or something. It's the University of Michigan. So I don't see him going that way, and I don't understand quite the negativity and the disdain for Jim Harbaugh. If you look at what Michigan's been, he's had 4 full seasons, and 3 out of those 4 years he's been 10-3. So yes, he hasn't taken Michigan to the pinnacle of the game. He's not been the level of Ohio State and gotten Michigan to that BCS, or it's college football playoff now, but he hasn't got them quite to that level. But they haven't been an embarrassment, and they've actually had a lot of success and been very competitive. Other than an 8-5 year where they lost a lot of close games, he's been there. In 2016, they were a yard away from beating Ohio State and probably going on to the college football playoff. They did it. Last year, they're having that great year, and were playing Ohio State relatively tight, and then the game just snowballed on them. This year, they've got 2 losses. Wisconsin, they got drubbed, and Penn State. Penn State's a top 10 team. Wisconsin's a top 10 team. Okay, we'll see what they do against Notre Dame this weekend. I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. It could very well be wrong. But I think he's working his way. I wouldn't be, I think the biggest thing that's hurt him is he hasn't found a quarterback. At Stanford, he got Andrew Luck, and that really elevated him. In San Diego, he had Josh Johnson, who was who played in the NFL for a few years as a backup, but he was able to have some good success with, in the NFL. And for an FCS quarterback to get into the NFL, I mean, that's pretty good. At the NFL, he had Colin Kaepernick at his prime. So everywhere he's gone that he's had that elite success, he's had that top-rate quarterback. He hasn't found that at Michigan, and we thought maybe Shea Patterson was going to be that guy. He was a highly rated recruit coming out, showed a lot of promise at Mississippi, hasn't shown it with Michigan. They haven't really recruited one of those top guys either. A lot of the guys, the quarterbacks that they brought in, have not been your elite-type guys. So if Harbaugh wants to get to that elite level, he's got to find that quarterback, and we're seeing that everywhere we go. Look at the college football playoff teams. They've all had elite quarterbacks. Oklahoma had Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield. The Alabama has had Tua the last few years, and I know they're kind of the exception. Clemson's had Deshaun Watson. They've had Trevor Lawrence. These schools that get there, Oregon had Mariota. Florida State had Jameis Winston. If you're going to be an elite team that makes the college football playoff, you got to have an elite quarterback, and Michigan just hasn't have that, and they don't have the overall talent that an Alabama has. So I think we need to pump the brakes on the Harbaugh hate. Yes, he's quirky and he rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but if he's winning 10 games practically every year, hey, you got to cut a little slack. Yes, they need to break through. Yes, they need to beat Ohio State, but are we seriously thinking they should get rid of a coach that's winning 10 games, probably going to be 4 out of 5 years? Let's kind of cool it just a little bit.